ever seen. I'll be right back. There's no quicker way to get into DFS. Play Super Draft today and see for yourself.
We're behind. They're all fired up. What we got to do? First place, our defense has got to go out there and take the ball. Then when we get the ball, we got to have 11 people that's going to do their job and try to score every time you get the football. If we do that, we'll be all right. If we do that, we'll be all right.
Good morning, CTS Sports Room. Welcome to another episode of the Special Teams Podcast. And today we're finna do a Georgia versus number 4 Ohio State pregame. Is this going to be a massacre? Is this game going to be a massacre? We're about to see, but we're going to be talking about basically some of the X factors of the game today, the key battles today in the game, and I'm gonna ask some a couple of questions after that. But I'm about to start the show off. I'm about to bring my man Harder the South End. That's my Georgia dude. You know the Georgia guy. Y'all done seen him before on two previous episodes, and we about to talk about it today. So, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Yes, sir. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. I'm gonna say this before we get started. It's supposed to be us, man. We supposed to
Oh
be
no.
here, not
Oh
you.
no. No.
But I'm gonna hit the chat first before we get started. My man Stephen Hicks, Roll Tide, Nick Saban Jr. My guy Reggie Wayne, he always tuning in. Faith Go Dogs. Roo, 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 roo.
Yeah, go dogs. I'm liking Reggie. I like Reggie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So coming to this guy today. Number one, Georgia. Y'all been lights out all year. Y'all had some struggles, some struggles, whatever. But like I always say, real champions rise to the occasion. Y'all been rising to the occasion all year, man. Like,
Yeah.
but today, Ohio State. You know, I initially thought that it's gonna be another Tennessee versus Georgia, but as I go back and look at it. No, I feel like Ohio State can pose a couple of threats today. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it'll last a whole game because Georgia for quarters, Georgia is gonna weigh you down. They're gonna weigh you down. So I believe Ohio State to come out, playing with emotion, playing tough, trying to play like it means something. But when you start getting around that third and fourth quarter, like you're gonna start seeing it. You're gonna start seeing it, and it's one of those games again that if y'all jump out fast on them. It's gonna get ugly fast. But I'm saying all that to
So I
say
don't I
so.
don't think it's gonna be another.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
a Georgia Oregon game.
Okay. Georgia, Oregon. Bo picks, my man. Bo picks. But first off, we're gonna talk about some of the X factors in the game, and when I say X factors, I mean some of the like not the main guys, but some guys that you see that probably need to play a part into this win today, to step up for this win today. That's what I mean by X factors. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you go with your X factor, and I'm gonna name my X factor for the game. So you start first with your X factor. Who's your X factor for the game?
So for me, believe it or not, I think the X factor is going to be Kendall Milton. Kendall
Mm.
Milton. So Kendall came back. He's been hurt all year. A lot of people probably didn't even realize that he's been pretty beat up all season, and he just recently got back. I want to say, what was it? The Georgia Tech game, or it might have been like the Georgia Tech game or something like that. But what he does is he's going to allow us to run the ball down Ohio State's throat. He's a beast, man. They're gonna run. They can run old school Georgia football. That's what we're gonna see today. Old school Georgia football.
Okay.
It's gonna be Kendall Milton, and I'm calling Kendall Milton's gonna have. He's gonna have close to 15, probably 15 to 20 carries today. They're gonna
Mm.
feed him today. They're gonna feed him.
Mm. Okay. I like that. I like that. I ain't mine is AD Mitchell, somebody that been, facing injuries a lot, but I think he's healthy now, and I think he's gonna play in this game. And the reason why I say AD Mitchell, because when you go back and look at it, this is where Ohio State struggles. And Ohio State struggle on the outside. So when I say AD Mitchell, somebody in that wide receiver core, you know what I'm saying? Like on the outside, it can be a key factor in this game, because taking the top off or just going up, being aggressive, snatching the ball. We seen what AD Mitchell did against us, you know what I'm saying, last year. And AD Mitchell is very, very talented and very capable of being the X factor of the game. So do you have another X factor? Because I have one for Ohio State. So who's your other X factor?
And so just to kind of elaborate on what you're saying too. So I get where you're coming from with the Ohio State DBs. I think their DBs are just like horrifically bad,
Yes,
because
they are.
we're
They
used to the
are.
traditional Ohio State. The traditional Ohio State is you go play DB there, you're getting drafted first, second round in the league. Even if you sucked in the
Mm-hmm.
league, you were good enough there that you're getting drafted in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
This year they are historically bad, but I think a lot of it also comes from their front. And their front, man, they do not get any kind of pressure. They
They
don't get. They
don't,
can't
man.
stop the run. They can't. That's why I think Kirby Smart is going to do what he three teams do so far. That's Northwestern, Notre Dame, and Michigan. They're gonna come in. They're gonna punch Ohio State in the mouth, and they're gonna just bully them. They're gonna say you're too little to stop our massive offensive line. That we're gonna rotate in three deep. We can rotate deep on the offensive line and you to beat you up. And there's nothing
Mm-hmm.
you can do about it. And
Yep.
if we saw anything from that Michigan game, Michigan didn't even have their primary running back. And
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State was loading the box. When I watched that game, they were loading the box on Michigan, and they still could not stop the run because they can't get off the blocks.
Nope.
So I think Georgia's going to slow it down. As far as Ohio State, I think their X factor is going to be exactly who I just talked about. Their entire defensive front. If their front four can do their job, we're going to have some problems today.
Yeah.
That's what they need. They need the front four to be able to sit there and stop the run without them committing too many people in that box. Because once they do that, Brock Bowers, A.D. Mitchell, McConkin, Washington, Darnell, there's no way they can guard them one-on-one with those
Mm-mm.
cornerbacks. They're going to have to. I guarantee they had a conversation at locker room that we've all heard before, which is we're going to win with y'all doing your job. And if those four do
Mm-hmm.
their job, they can possibly. If four can't, it's going to be bad real quick. It's going to get nasty real quick.
Okay. I like that. I love that right there, because My X factor for Ohio State is one of the linebackers, Tommy Ettenbridge, whatever his name is. But the reason why I say him because
Mhm.
he's gonna have, like you were saying with Kendall Milton, the reason why he's gonna be X factor, he's gonna have to be part of this run stopping defense. Cause like you were saying, like exactly like you were saying,
Mhm.
he's gonna have to be one of the reasons why, because they need to stop, they need to not commit too many people in the box, because if they commit too many people in the box like they did against Michigan, it's gonna get ugly real fast. But if he can do his job and help with this run stop, you know what I'm saying? He could be one of the X factors.
Mhm. Yeah, and see, and
Got any?
I think the guy Tommy, was it Etchenberg or something
Yeah,
like that? Etchenberg, I
yeah,
think is how you say his name. Etchenberg, Eichenberg or Etchenberg.
something like yeah.
His run, man. The problem is exactly what I said. Those front four, well, actually, it's three,
Mhm.
because Ohio State sometimes like to run this weird 3-man line. I don't know why, but those guys cannot get blocks. And if you can sit there and one-on-one block them and then combo block to the linebacker, your linebackers are useless.
Yep.
Like like
Mhm.
you look at any of the greatest linebackers in college or NFL, they all have one thing in common. They had defensive linemen that kept them clean so that they can make plays. Tommy is getting blocked 5 yards down the field. The guy can't even react to runs or nothing because he's getting
Nope.
blocked.
Mm-hmm.
So he has the talent has to do. The problem is again, like if you go watch any of their games that they struggled in, every single one of their games, they had combination blocks where the defensive linemen were getting blocked and the linemen were combinating up to the linebackers. And so you can't, that's a recipe. So he's
Nah.
completely gonna get negated, out of the game if the linemen can't get off of blocks.
Yep. That's fact. My man Bill Kansas Bad said #1 Georgia. Bill Kansas Bad, appreciate you for tuning in, bro. Appreciate you for tuning in. And I'm gonna tell you my next X factor is for Georgia. It's Broderick James. And just because of, you know, dude been good all year, but what type of JT Tulamala or James Sawyer, what type of game are they gonna play today? Because if they can play a lights out game today, you know what I'm saying, they can be and stopping them. If they come with the A game and Broderick James holds them down, he's the big X factor. That's why I say Broderick James.
You to my the left tackle?
Yes, left tackle.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't actually foresee, and I it's gonna take a big game from. I don't foresee them having a big game against Browns. Also, what Georgia likes to do is we like to put our tight ends at the end to do those. Our tight ends are really good blockers. And the thing
Yes.
about it is, even if he starts to have, we'll say, worst case scenario for Georgia, we'll say this kid has a great game. What they're gonna do is what I have seen them do is they will line Darnell Washington up on that side, and it's basically like you have two left tackles or tackles in general trying to block
Yeah.
that person because Darnell Washington is 280 pounds. He's a left tackle, and so that's how I feel like Georgia's gonna negate him. Like they're gonna start the game off, with the traditional set because he's a traditional on the line, tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going to happen is if they feel like Jones and all the linemen have everything in line, they're going to let him be, and they're going to let Washington do his thing. But if for some reason any of the tackles are struggling, I think they're just going to double him up with Darnell Washington. But I don't think he's going. I don't think we're gonna have any issues with it.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I got Broderick Jones as my X factor. I feel like he gonna hold it down. Then my other X factor. This is my last X factor. Is Ohio State. Emeka Mbuka, whatever his name, because yeah, he can be X factor because we all know Marvin Harrison is that dude. But if he being double teamed, if he being bracketed or whatever, he's gonna have to come in and be that other guy. He and I think he's the other 1,000-yard receiver because Ohio State has 2,000-yard receivers, and he's gonna have to be that guy to step in and shine when Marvin Harrison Jr. might be getting held down or whatever, but he just gonna have to be the other guy. Your thoughts on that?
I agree because for on one of the podcasts that we had is I am one of the, and I know I'm going to hurt my fellow Georgia fans' hearts out there. I'm one of Georgia fans that I am not a believer in Keely Ringo. I'm not a Keely Ringo believer. I keep telling everybody he is overrated. Every game I've ever watched, this man is turned around, out of position, getting burnt. No, he is that. He is not that guy. We know in sports how sports work. He has the measurables, he has the talent, he has the ability, he has the capability. So therefore, he's going to get the opportunity. And what ends up happening is he makes those. He reminds me sometimes of Diggs, the cornerback for the Cowboys. Yeah, he'll get burnt plays in a row, but if he makes that key interception, the plays that got burnt. You just remember the interception. And I think Abuka, I think Harrison Jr., man. Oh my God, bro! If they go out there and Keely Ringo, it's about to be a bad day for us. That's why I emphasize running the ball. I believe they're going to emphasize because they don't want Ohio State to get in the rhythm of just beating up on Keely. Because Keely telling they're going to go after Keely because Ryan Day is an offensive mind, and look at that we struggled in. Look at every game that they had receiver numbers. Yep, see, they're gonna go out and go. Every one of those were games that Ringo struggled when before William in the Alabama game, they were going after Ringo. Even the Georgia Tech game, the Georgia Tech was going after Ringo. Tennessee, they were going after Ringo. In the U game, they were going after Ringo. Ringo is, like I said, he's gonna make a play. I know it. There's gonna be an interception, a fumble, or something he's gonna make. That's why he's on the field. But those 9 plays, he's gonna give me a heart attack.
Hey, that's fact. Is that fact? Ringo. So, did you know this one stat right here? Ohio State is number 2 in the country at stopping the pass against running backs and tight ends. And I'm bringing it up because y'all leading receivers are running backs and tight ends. What's your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I don't buy much into it. If you look at a lot of their competition, isn't very balanced like Georgia. And then what ends up happening is when it comes to the big games, everybody looks for something. Like number one at stopping running backs and tight ends. Like at what stat matrix? At what matrix are you using? Are you using it in the fourth quarter only? Are you using from the first 10 games? Are you using for the season? Like it's such a vague tricks to use. And then on top of that, if you stop in running backs and tight ends, then what are you doing against the receivers? Where do they rank at in the nation versus wide receivers?
And see, that's why they suck on the outside because you got that one stat, but then you go look at the stat far as their cornerbacks, they suck there, man. They suck. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that. On the outside. That's why I say AD Mitchell.
Yeah, AD and Ladd. AD, Ladd, and Brock should have a field day. But I think one of the big reasons too why they have that success is because you look at programs like the traditional Michigan State, you look at Iowa State, you look at all of those schools that they typically play, they're typically tight end and running back dominant schools. Like they go heavy with tight end sets. Half of those schools will run 3 tight end sets. And so That's why I think that stat might be a little overrated, because when you play in a school like that that's running 2-3 tight ends all the time, it might appear that they're stopping a tight end like that, but
Yep.
I don't think there's any merit behind that. I think it's just, you know.
And what you said to see, that's how I think about analytics in football. Like Lane Kiffin, he likes to go for it on fourth down a lot. But I say analytics of football don't amount to the play on the field, because them analytics adding up against teams you play for in the past. Them analytics ain't including Alabama or Georgia or a top-notch team. So though I'm like, you use analytics, but it's crazy to me. And the same thing with this stat is it's against Big Ten, like Reggie Wayne said, Big Ten backs and tight ends. You know what I'm saying? It's not against a well balanced and well coached
Balance.
Georgia team. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
that's just one of the things. Yeah.
yeah, like I would like to see versus the game they lost against Michigan. Like, did Michigan target at all? Did they target tight ends only twice, and Ohio State stopped those 2 opportunities? Because the only thing Michigan did was run the ball. So
that's
you
all they
can't
did.
target the running back if
Then
they're
they did
breaking
with
up
a
60. Yeah.
then they did with a second string running that back. They starting running back wasn't even playing.
Yeah. So like you can't target a running back if you break off a CR run.
Yeah,
So
fact. And they go back to the other X factor. That dude Tommy, that linebacker they got. I say you're gonna have to be a factor, because if not, y'all gonna have to need more help in the box and they kill you up top.
There's a big difference between playing against your normal traditional tight ends and playing up against arguably the nation's best tight end. That's like when you go into the game and you're playing Travis Kelce. You can game plan all you want to Travis Kelce, but Patrick Mahomes getting Travis Kelce the ball.
Exactly.
And if you sit there every week, you're like, how the hell did Travis Kelce end up with 100 yards again? And it's because he's that dude.
Yep.
And that's the same thing. Ours. He's that dude. And the
like,
moment that you start focusing on, it's gonna get bad.
Like Brock Bowers is, like I said, I told you, he gonna be a Heisman candidate next year. He's gonna be a Heisman candidate this year. That dude, he's everything is advertised, man.
You think a tight end can win the Heisman?
I don't think he's gonna win it, but he definitely could be in the talk. You know, in the beginning of the season talks about Heisman candidate. I think he can get that far, but I don't think he'll win it. Of course, you know that's a quarterback thing, man.
Yeah, 100% a quarterback thing.
Hey, so the next thing I want to talk about, key battles during this game. Key battles. And I'm gonna start it off. Marvin Harrison Jr. versus Keelan Ringo. And I'm saying this because I can't even give Keelan Ringo no flack about it if it goes wrong, because I don't think no one in the country gonna actually guard Marvin Harrison Jr. That dude he get off the ball, he get out like the dude just good, man. He his daddy. He is daddy reincarnated, like for real. Like
I think he's better.
the dude good. Yeah, facts.
He might be better.
Facts.
So obviously I don't agree with that, because I don't think Keelan Ringo is the key matchup with anybody. So I've already gave you my spiel about Keelan. And man, I feel bad. I feel like I'm just angry at Keelan Ringo for some reason, man. But my key battle to me is any of the receivers and Malachi Starks in the slot. That's what I think. I want to see what our true freshman in one of the biggest games of his career so far is going to do when he's against elite receiver competition in the slot. So when you got receivers on the outside, you can game plan a little bit towards that. You can push them towards the sideline. You can put a safety over the top. Like you can help out, you know. And so basically it's going to be Starks or Bullard who I'm focusing on. Starks or Bullard. Okay. Whoever's going to be in that slot guarding, because you know those guys, man, they don't just stay on one side of the field. Harrison doesn't just stay in the X or the Y, he moves around. So whenever he's in that slot, whoever is guarding him, or Mecca, Buka, all these crazy names, right? Whenever
Yeah,
one of
man.
them slots, and we got Georgia even try to bring pressure, or we bring Starks down, or we bring Bullard on them, how do they guard those guys in the slot? That's going to be the moneymaker right there. I'm not worried about the outside. I think the outside is going to take care of itself. I think Keeley gets kind of hidden a little bit because of the fact that you can get safety help over the top. You know, by the time a lot of them throw the ball towards Keeley, they're deeper routes down the field. So our defensive lineman can get pressure or get sacks. Like, so a lot of his stuff can get hidden. You know what I'm saying? But when you dealing with that slot, it's slant routes, it's out, it's out routes, it's 5 and outs, it's curl routes. They have almost an entire route tree available.
Yeah.
And you, as a defender, you got to be able to, flip your hips and be ready to roll. And them boys are quick. So to me, that's my biggest X factor is Bullard and
Okay.
Starks versus one of those receivers.
Okay. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. I really do. My next one is Stetson Bennett versus Jim Knowles, Ohio State defensive coordinator, because Stetson Bennett is pretty good. The Ohio State defensive coordinator, he pretty good. But again, all this stuff is against Big Ten teams, whatever they are. And I want to know how Jim Knowles is going to try to attack this Georgia's offense. How he's going to try to slow down Stetson Bennett. How he's going to stop Stetson Bennett from getting. How he's going to stop Brock Bowers. I want to see how aggressive is he going to come, or is he going to try to keep it simple? Like I want to know Jim Knowles' game plan. And I'm gonna ask you this: if you were on the other side of the ball of Stetson Bennett, how would you try to stop Stetson Bennett in the Georgia offense?
You live and you live and die by the zone. You have to. You
Okay.
have to force him. You have to force him to make tight throws. Like, that's what you got to do. You got to force him. You just got to say, you know what? We're not committing a bunch of bodies to stop the run. We're going to run a four-man down line, and we're going to play a zone where all the eyes are forward. If they run the ball, we can get to the run, hopefully. If they pass the ball, you four need to get there, and we're going to force him to be one of the most accurate quarterbacks in this game today. Because to me, I think Stetson's talent comes from his ability to extend the play, his ability to make additional plays, his ability to put that pressure on you to decide if you want to come up or not. I don't think his talent comes from his accuracy. Now, he is a college quarterback. He's one of those guys can fit them, but on a consistent basis, I think his consistent decision making and his consistent accuracy in tight windows, I don't think it's up there with CJ. I think CJ destroys him in that field. So I would sit back and I would say, you know what? If you're going to score, you're going to score on 12, 13, 14 plays. But what you're not going to do is I'm not going to commit 7, 8 in the box. And then you hit me with one of those bootleg that Stetson's is so, for. And then next thing you know, you got A.D. Mitchell, who you mentioned, flying up the sideline, burning my cornerback, who I already know is struggling. And you got to keep him in there. You got to treat him like this old school way of how they did Michael Vick. Don't let Michael Vick be Michael Vick. Make him be Peyton Manning.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. Because we all seen when Stetson Bennett is put in that situation, he is capable of making mistakes. He is capable of making mistakes, and I'm like you. I live by the zone and make him throw in the top. Make him make the throw. Make him make the throw, and you can eventually get a mistake. But if he makes that mistake, Ohio State, y'all are gonna have to capitalize off of it. If he makes the mistake, you have to capitalize off of it. So I didn't ask you your key one of your key battle, your second key battle for that. Who's your second key battle?
So mine, I would have to say it's gonna be that Ryan Day offense versus our defensive coordinator. I think it's the opposite. I think that offense, they have to come out there and they have to make a point, because our pride and our momentum comes from our defense. If our offense gets on the field first and they score, we don't care. Like we're like, okay, cool, good, man. They scored, right? If they come out on that field and they go straight down the field and score in our defense, every Georgia fan in the U.S. will instantly feel sick because they're gonna be like, this is about to be bad because all of our pride is based off of our defense. Like he has to, because I believe if Ohio State defense just be patient, that Georgia's going to give them a possession or two. They're going to give either a turnover or they're going to kick a couple field goals, right? Because we have shown multiple times this year that on short yardage situations that we don't have the ability to pick up a yard, which sounds crazy because we run the ball so well. We have shown the ability to not be able to pick up a yard or so, right? I believe if you be patient and you allow Georgia to just kind of, force them to be patient, they'll give you a possession or two. But on the opposite side, that offense absolutely have to prove a point and show, basically in a sense they're saying your defense is nothing different, but if they go out there and they do that, every Georgia fan is gonna, man, we're gonna be sick for that first quarter until we get a hold of things.
So I'm gonna ask you this. So that is the way for Ohio State to set the tone. If they come out first drive on the defense score. So I won't say this off of what you said. For the way y'all set the tone is, if y'all win the toss, what y'all gonna do? Go what you want to do? Go with defense, right? Go with defense to set the tone. Go ahead.
I say they need to go out there and put the offense on the field.
Okay.
The reason why I say put the offense on the field is because I want to establish right now to Ohio State defense that you do not deserve to be on this field. I want to put it in their head from the opening kickoff, and then that for the rest of that game, they're beaten. They're done. They're not gonna. They're not gonna want to tackle. They're not gonna want to read their keys. They're not gonna want to stay in their zones. They're gonna say, I don't want no problem. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to be here today. These boys just drove 80 yards, 8 plays, and scored a touchdown. And they did. And out of those 8 plays, 7 of them was run plays. They literally just ran the ball down our throat and scored a touchdown. Like we don't deserve to be on this field. And I think that's going to carry over to their offense. Their offense is going to then say, all right, we got to be dramatic today. We got to do something big in order to win this game. And that's going to force them to make mistakes and make turnovers. And then that's when Georgia's going to start feeding on them at that point.
Are y'all, everybody in the chat?
First, Ohio State goes down into problem.
Yeah. That will give Georgia that feel like, this might be a long day for the defense. But everybody in the chat, y'all hit the like button, man. Y'all hit the like button for me, man. Please do that. But my last key battle is, we talked about it a little bit earlier too. Ohio State defensive line versus Georgia running backs, because they're gonna have to get back there, hit those rushing lanes, hit the right gap to slow down this run game. Because if we all know they can't slow down this run game, Georgia finna maul. They finna maul Ohio State. They can't do nothing with this run game. What's your thoughts on that?
So everybody has given they given the remedy to me with lesser talent on the offensive line and running back room. Our number 3 running back is equivalent to, Michigan's number 1 and 2. So we're going to go out there and we got 3 or 4 people. We can go 4 deep at running back. And each one of those guys are going to come out there and put the same amount of pressure on that line as if they were the number 1 running back out there. I think it will, specifically be, my boy from Cali, Kendall Milton. I think it's going to be him. And I think Kendall is going to be the one that's going to front the low because he's the bigger guy. He's the, he's the brawler per se. So I think it's going to be more him than anyone. But as far as the running back room, I don't think that defensive line is, and I don't want to say talented enough because they got the talent.
Yeah,
I think half of those, if not all 4 of those guys were at least 4 stars, right? They got the talent.
Yeah,
They
JT
just
Tulamala. Yeah, JT Tulamala. He was a 5-star.
a 5-star, right? Yeah. So I think they obviously got the talent. I just think they ain't developing well, or they
Mm,
just taking risks or something, or
mm,
whatever the case may be. But they are not they're not built to stop those running backs because of the fact that they cannot get off blocks. They can't get off blocks.
yeah. And Reggie Wayne,
Mhm.
he said if OSU can't stop the run, can't run the ball, it's going to be a long day for them. Then I think they starting running back hurt. Henderson, I believe he hurt. I don't think he playing this game.
No, he didn't play. He opted to have his surgery early.
Okay, yep. So yeah, you right about. Yeah, I agree with that. If they can't create a run game, it's definitely gonna be a long game. So
Yeah, and then the thing about it is we can stop the
mhm,
run with just our front four.
yep, yeah, you surely can. So what's your do you have another key matchup that you'd like to see?
Honestly, it's that line. I want to see the
Yeah,
Lions go against
yeah,
the,
yeah. The
because that's what
trenches.
it's going to come down to. Because
Mm-hmm.
we keep talking about the tight ends and the receivers and the cornerbacks, but I don't think it's going to be one of those games. I feel like as fans and as people who want to watch the game, we want to see the Ohio State that scores 40, 50 points. And
That's
we
true.
want to see the Georgia that scored 50 points versus 40, 50 points
Mm-hmm.
versus LSU. That is not, when you have a whole month to prepare for somebody, you are you're going to go out there and you're going to execute. That's your game plan. So just go out there and execute. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is your problems are your problems, and your problem with Ohio State is they cannot stop the run. Everybody who has played football know you don't fix your problems in 14 days. Your problem is still your problem. Now you might be able to fix little things. You might be able to critique like your game plan. You might be able to fill in a different person here or there, or do something like that, or add something. But whatever your big problem is, you don't fix your big problem in 14 days. You
Yep.
don't magically become a bigger, stronger, faster defensive line in 14 days. You're still
Yeah.
a defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that line versus our offensive line, and then our defensive line versus their offensive line, I think that's going to be the key. Whoever starts winning that battle early, the power is going to start swinging their way.
Yeah. Hey, I want to shout out everybody. Jeff Stapleton, King Brian, 6-0, Bama know you all y'all that's in the chat, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way in. Please do that. But I agree. Agree. I agree 100% with that. Yep, the trench is gonna be critical for them trench play. So I got some questions. Some of my questions are: who do you think draws blood first? Who you think draws first blood?
I think it's going to be Georgia. I think I
Okay.
think I think especially playing basically a home game. You got to remember they're playing in Atlanta, so they're
Atlanta.
basically playing a
Yep.
home game. So I think you go out there early, you get the lead early, or you make a stop first. You're gonna put that crowd in a mindset that it's just gonna be insane. And I'm gonna assume, knowing Georgia fans, that more than likely we're going to have about 60 to 70% of that stadium filled. I think we need 70 because it's a home game, but technically,
Mm.
but we're at least gonna have 60% of that stadium filled. Ohio State is basically going to be playing a road game right now. And so I think Georgia wants to get up early, get the crowd in early, and then it's just going to be all downhill from there at that point.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you Kirby Smart going into this game, what are you telling your guys before the game? What are you telling them?
I'm going to tell them, just like you always say, that the old Bill Belichick, God, don't go out there trying to
Okay.
do too much. Don't be trying to worry about what everybody's doing. Do your job. You know what exactly your job is. I don't need you trying to make a spectacular play, because his defense is built to not give up the big play. His defense,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to give up passes. We're going to give up yards. Ohio State is going to drive the ball. They're going to. Like, I have not seen a team yet. Even Oregon, when we blew up Oregon, right? We blew out Oregon, and Oregon still was driving the ball. If you watch that game, they were driving the ball every single time they got it.
They were.
They were driving the ball. But the thing about his defense is you just it's a bend but don't break. Just do your job, read your keys, don't get any stupid penalties, with hot-headed, reactions and stuff like that. And then you wait till they make the key mistake. Wait till they make the key mistake.
Okay. So what if Georgia goes down 14-0? What if they go down 14-0 real quick? Does the game plan change for Georgia?
I don't think so. I think the game plan changes if you go out there one more series and it doesn't work that last series. That's when the game plan starts to change.
Okay, so
14-0. Yeah, 14-0 in college football isn't a huge league. That's not very big.
But
I think with 14-0,
it kind of put a pink a little bit on, especially Georgia fans. It put a little sense of urgency in y'all mindset though if it happens.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm sitting here in this 14, we're down 0-14, man. I'm telling everybody to leave the house. Y'all go to the store, go to the park. Somebody, hey man, go put up the gingerbread house, put the Christmas tree away, something. Definitely gonna be panic mode for me. But I think for them, if you're down 14-0, what they're gonna probably do, if anything, is they're gonna simplify it all. They're not gonna go panic mode and say, all right, we need to throw the ball every play. They're gonna simplify it all. They're gonna say, all right, guys, whatever it is we just tried to do, it was too much. And whether it would be, maybe they were trying to do some bootleg and hit a couple of deep passes, and then they got behind in the chain or something. They might come out that next series and say, okay, we're just gonna keep it simple. We're just gonna do a toss, a toss sweep. They're gonna keep it, just that simple, right? And then at that point, they're going to start slowly working towards, what it is that they want and trying to, obviously cut down on that lead. But if we're down 14-0, hey, I need everybody to leave the house and watch the game. Hey, what do you say? Oh, yeah, I'm going to watch the game alone, man. I'll watch the game alone. Everybody get out.
Yep. Hey, William Bryant, appreciate you coming in, man. Roll Tide, brother. So I'm gonna ask you another what if question. This going off the script a little bit. So what if it goes up 21-0? The game plan gotta change. Yeah.
So everybody praised Nick Saban when he made that change at halftime and put Tua in the game, and they won them the national championship. I want to see obviously I don't want to see, because I don't want to be down 21-0. But if we are in a situation where Stetson Bennett is just playing so horrifically bad, I want to see if Kirby Smart is willing to do that. Traditionally, he has not been the guy that will come in there and make such a dramatic change like that. But if I feel like the game is on the line, like for example, let's just say hypothetically, Stetson Bennett continues, like he just keeps turning the ball over. Let's say it's almost halftime. He has 3 interceptions and 2 fumbles, but the game is only 14-10. Right? Do you stick with your national championship winning quarterback, or do you look at the sideline and say, hey, Carson Beck, Brock, Gunner, somebody, you can't do worse than this. So come out here and try to get us a spark. Because if we're only down 14-10, we're only down that with 5 turnovers. If I can just get one of y'all to get me some kind of momentum on the offense, we're going to take over this game. Do you do that, or do you look at Stetson and you sit with him and you say, hey, we need you, man. First half is over. We're still in this game. We're getting the ball back, or our defense is going to go get us the ball back. Okay, let's get in our groove. Let's make this work. I'm a Stetson guy. You see, I always rock the Stetson jersey. I believe in him. I love him. I love his story. But this is business.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see the Stetson Bennett movie. I can't wait to see it. It got to be a movie. It has to be a movie. It has to be a movie. Yeah, it has to be. I can see it on Disney Plus now. Nick Satan, appreciate you for tuning in. Go Dogs. I hear you. I hear you. Hey, so what the next question was? We talked about it a little bit already. How important do you think the wide receivers are gonna play in this game?
For me, I don't think Georgia wide receivers will play a lot of importance, but I think that Ohio State's receivers will. I think their receivers, if they go out there and they do what they are capable of doing, because a lot of people, obviously, we're creatures of the moment, man. We're creatures of the now. Ohio State last thing on film is they lost, so now everybody's ready to throw them off the cliff. They're done. They're overrated. They're done. Nobody wants to see them. The Ohio State sucks, right? Because we're creatures of the now. What people don't realize is that team is arguably one of the best teams in the nation. The problem is they're young and they're inconsistent. So if they go out there and they have their best game, which they are capable of up to their talent level, those receivers, oh man, they don't no, I don't think no receiver room can match those receivers in Ohio State. They're just animals, man. And if they go out there and they have the game they're capable of having, Marvin Jr. and Abuka, those boys, man, they can't be matched. Like their talent can't be matched, right? And on the opposite side for Georgia, I think I think the receivers, I think their goal today is going to be to stay engaged in the game because they're not going to be. I think it's going to be worse than that, Nick Satan. I think Georgia receivers is going to have to stay engaged in the game because they're not going to be getting a lot of action today. They're not going to be getting a lot of passes. They're going to be asked to block, 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 block. And so I think it's going to be key for them to stay involved in the game regardless.
Nick Satan got the big score prediction, and you said he thought it was gonna be worse.
Oh my! Be like the Oregon game, Nick Satan. Hey. I'm starting to like Nick Satan.
Hey, like I had said in the title, a massacre is about to happen. A massacre is about to happen. So, what does Georgia need to do to set the tone of the game? Well, like, right now, this is what type of game it's gonna be. What do they need to do?
Physicality. They need to go out there and establish, like I said, why I think they need to receive the ball first. They need to go out there and establish to Ohio State that you do not belong on the field with us. We are bigger than you. We're stronger. We're better. We're gonna impose our will on you, and you do not deserve to be on this field with us. And I think if they go out there and do that, it's gonna be over quick. But the opposite of that is exactly what I said Ohio State needs to do. Ohio State, if they come out there and they prove to Georgia right off the bat, bro, we're here to play ball. We're just as good. Our ratings match what we're about to show you today. Then we're gonna be terrified. It's gonna be bad. But I don't think that will be the case. I think Georgia's gonna come out there, and I'm gonna predict that it's gonna be such a lopsided run versus pass for Georgia that it's gonna throw a lot of the fans off, and a lot of people are gonna say the game is boring. Because right now, I think we actually do more like a 60-40 pass. So we're more passing. It's probably like 60-40 pass, or probably more like 55 or something like that pass. But the reality is I think it's going to be flipped today. I think today is going to be like a 70-30 running game today for Georgia. We're just going to run the ball all day.
Okay.
Like I said, we're going to be half of us going to be taking naps at halftime. Because we're going to be like, man, like what? Man, this game is only 21 nothing. Like this is boring because we want to 50 times. And I'm telling you, Kirby Smart is about to go out there and punish these boys. He's gonna put both those tight ends out there and run heavy.
Yeah, we got 15, 14 in chat. Oh, y'all, please hit the like button for me, man. Please hit the like button for me. Okay, so roll tide, brother. Roll. Oh, that Nick saying roll tide. But I'm gonna say this. what is the game plan? What is the overall game plan? I know we'll be discussing little bits and pieces, but before we come, what is your game plan before we step on the game? What is your game plan? Like, if you were the head coach, is what I'm saying. What would the game plan? Would the game plan be? Hey, we're gonna start the big play downfield, and we whatever they want to take up front, take that. And we all know that when they get in the red zone, Georgia's gonna be very stingy. So is the game plan gonna be like give them grass up front, stop the big play from behind? Hey, when y'all get in the red zone, you're gonna have to try your best because in Georgia ain't giving nothing up. So what is the game plan?
My game plan is, all right, guys, stay focused in the game. Stay engaged in the game. This is going to be a very simple game plan. We're not giving up any big plays. We're going to play a lot of man-to-man or a lot of that deep zone type coverage. We're not giving up anything deep. On offense, we're running the ball. We're going to slow the pace down. We're going to do a lot of those play actions, short passes across the middle, curl routes, that type of thing. And we're going to run a lot of those long scoring drives. We're not planning on being on the field long. We're going to get in here, get the game over with early and quick by scoring early and quick, and then we're out. I think they're going to keep it that simple. And like I said, and I keep saying this, man, I think it's going to be a very old school Georgia plan, like that game plan that we used to have with like Todd Gurley them, where but it was unfortunately then it was when we didn't have really, the greatest of receivers. But I think it's going to be like a Todd Gurley type game plan where they're going to run the ball so much. And I think every one of those running backs are going to be involved today. They're going to be engaged in the game today. And my only thing I need, and I'm telling my team as a coach, is I need my wide receivers, and I need Brock, and I need Darnell. Stay engaged in the game, guys, because it's going to be a very different game strip for you. And when I do call that play action, I come to you, I need you ready. Like, I need you ready. I don't need you. Like, we've seen it where the receiver kind of has the diva mindset. They start pouting because they're not getting a bunch of passes. I don't think we have that, because obviously when you come to Georgia, you come there with the mindset of you're not going to get 50 passes a game. I think that kind of helps. But I need to stay engaged. We're going to run the ball a lot today.
Hey, Reggie Warren, go ahead and say it. I said it before. Go ahead and say it, bro. He said, "Can't say the D word."
No, don't say it.
That's funny. But yes, sir.
No, we don't say that until we get the second one. Then we can start talking about the D word. No, matter of fact, we won't even say it. We can start having a conversation about the possibility of it.
Okay. I appreciate you for tuning in the chat too. I think this is my first time seeing you, man. Thank you for coming in. So what's your overall thoughts on this game? What's your overall thoughts on this game? Thoughts and predictions. Really gonna happen? I know you've been saying it, but
so my thoughts is it's gonna be a blowout. I think it's gonna be I'm thinking 28-7. 28-7. I feel like Ohio State when they receiver opted out, and then they running back opted to get surgery, and he opted out. And then they started getting what was the name? Maurice Corrett, and then like an old linebacker out there talking, trying to get them hype. I think what they said to me was, we don't think we can win. That's what it says to me. When I'm playing, or if I'm playing ball and I have a chance to go to the national championship game, we've seen this through every sport. Your person, if they have an option to play through that game or to go ahead and end their season with surgery, they always opt to go ahead and play in that. They say, even if I have to go out there as a decoy, I will be a decoy in order for my team to benefit from me being on that field. When their receiver, what's his name, in Jigma, Jackson Jigma, when he opted out to get ready for the draft, that told me that he knew, or the feeling in that locker room is, we can't win this game. because even with him on the field, even if I'm talking about if he can't even run a route, bro, if he can't even run a route, he changes everything for that offense because he is so good. Because that gives you 3 receivers that are just insanely talented. So at that point, Georgia has to act as if, this guy's playing, even if he was out there hurt. We've seen receivers do it all the time. We've seen it at Alabama. Guys go out there with bad ankles and stuff, and they're not ready to play, but they go on the field because now the team has to game plan for it.
Like even last when we played 2020, Jalen Water. Yeah, it was Jalen Water. He was hurt still, but he still came in and made a small impact because now you got to guard him, and he actually came out there and made catches and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
and
go
get me
ahead.
wrong. Like I don't fault him for not playing the game because I understand that ultimately his goal is to make it to the league. He has to make a decision for his future and for his life. And so I completely respect that. But for the purpose of the question is I felt like once everybody started opting out like that, that told me that there was some sense of there's no need for me to play in this game.
Yeah, facts. So I'm asking you just one more question. There's another national championship for Georgia. What does that mean for Georgia?
To me, it validates that last year wasn't a fluke. That's what it does for me. It does not make you a dynasty. You don't win 2 national championships and then become a dynasty. You got to win 3 in 5 years, or 5 out of the 10, or something like that. It has to be something more than 2. But what it does to me is it validates that last year wasn't a fluke, because obviously you have all the rumors. Everybody's, the only reason why they won is because Alabama lost their receivers, and look at what Alabama did in the SEC championship game. They blew them out.
That was the only reason why y'all won.
No. Because if that was the case, then that means the year before, when Alabama lost both their receivers in that championship game, they should have lost that game too. But they didn't. They won. And then on top of that, you can't say we won because you lost your receivers, because we were playing with a backup quarterback. So just saying, you let a backup quarterback beat you.
I mean, it ain't like it ain't happened to Georgia before, so
Exactly my point. So injuries can't be an excuse.
Yeah, facts. I agree 100%. Injury can't be an excuse because you still put a product on the field regardless of what goes on. There's still a product on the field that you feel confident enough to play with. So But yeah, man, hey, I appreciate y'all tuning in the chat today, man. I think that was a good one, man. That was a good one. So I'm gonna ask you one more. I said one more question, but I've been asking everybody this lately, and this has nothing to do with Georgia. No. But what are 5 teams during this bowl season that winning it's a must win for? 5 teams that it's a must win for. Like when I say must win is, now we're gonna start looking at your fun and we're gonna start having questions. Media gonna start having questions. So a must win for that program. 5 teams.
I think Ohio State.
Yep.
Is one, because I feel like if they lose, I think you start questioning Ryan Day, because he
exactly
lost
what I said.
Twice. He lost to Michigan twice. Let me see. Oh man. Let me see. I think Georgia needs to win. I don't think Michigan needs to win. I think it will be for TCU to win, but I don't think they need to win.
It's not a must.
So that's a difference of a question. Unfortunately for you, I think Alabama is a must win.
I picked Alabama.
I think they're a must win because if they lose today, everybody starts to look at them saying, ain't nobody afraid of y'all no more. What are y'all gonna do now? Like, the Nick Saban days are almost over. Bryce Young's coming out this year, right? I think Bryce Young's coming out this year. And that other quarterback y'all had, I wasn't too impressed. So
the only thing I was the reason this is what I'm gonna say about Williams. Bill O'Brien did bad play calling for him. He didn't involve the offense around what he does best. And I'm saying that say this: you can't call Tom Brady plays for Lamar Jackson. It's a recipe for failure. So and that's why everybody got so quick off the Jalen Miro train, because it didn't look good, because you can't do the same. Like I said, you just can't call the same plays for two different types of quarterbacks.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree with that. Yeah, and then I would say, let me see. So Alabama,
You got Ohio State, Alabama.
Ohio State, Alabama. I'm gonna go with. I think it'll be a good win for Kentucky if they win, because they went up last year, and this year I felt like they kind of dropped. So by winning a bowl game, I feel like it'll help them out.
Okay, so but I'm gonna say this again. We got to think about Kentucky program, even though but this Kentucky. I'm talking about a must win, and I'm gonna throw one out there that probably, you know what I'm saying. I say last night was a must win for Clemson, but they didn't win, because now you start to see that. Yeah, now you start to see Dabo losing grip of the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say.
So we talking about even the games that I've already played.
Yeah, we can go to the that's why I said the bowl season, like the bowl season.
Oh, okay. Alabama,
But I still got
Notre Dame,
your first two, yeah.
Clemson, and then I thought North Carolina needed a win too.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what I have picked. For some reason I can never remember my fifth one, but I picked Ohio State too, because of the fact of Ryan Day. Now they're gonna start pushing them, because now you done got to the national championship. And now you done lost. Now they're gonna start. I don't hear being a hot seat, but now they're gonna start questioning: can he get Ohio State over the hump? That's gonna be the question. And I'm gonna tell you, I picked USC. USC because of Lincoln Riley's sake. If he loses the game, now you're gonna start questioning Lincoln Riley. Like, you did the same thing at Oklahoma. You had good teams, but can you get over the hump? Can you get over the hump? I picked Alabama because of, hey, we all know what's going on right now. See what's going on. Like you said, people gonna really start saying we're not scared of Bama no more. My other one was Clemson, and they did not pull it off yesterday. Not because, like I said, Dabo Swinney, you losing grip of the ACC now, like, and you lost bad, and you can't say that my quarterback transferred, because hey, both teams had backups. Tennessee even had backup wide receivers, and they looked like they did not miss a beat at all last night. Joe Milton torched them last night. He torched them last night. Yeah. So now you start looking at Cade Cumberland. He's young, and of course he can develop a lot in the offseason. But is he the guy? Is he gonna be the guy? You know what I'm saying? Nah, like I said, I give him a lot of grace because he's young. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason I cannot remember my fifth one. I don't know. I can't remember my fifth one. But
I agree with all of them. I agree with all of them except for USC. The only reason why I say USC is because this is Lincoln's first year.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I think if it wasn't his first year, I would understand. But since it's his first year, he still got a lot of players that's not in a position that he need them in yet. He's still bringing in more talent. So, but all the rest, I 100% agree with.
And the reason why I say USC, like I said, for Lincoln Riley, he brought the same defensive coordinator over from Oklahoma, and it's the same problems that Oklahoma was having on defense. So at that point, the reason why I say him, because now you got to start questioning him. Is he gonna make a splash? Like, what is he gonna do with the DC? Because Lincoln Riley, we know he can drop offense. He a good offensive play call or whatever. But you're gonna have to do something with that defense to get USC over the hump, man. Because it's the same thing at Oklahoma right now. Like you said, it's the first year at USC, whatever. But that's why I'm for that sake. But I'm gonna ask you this: who do you think wins out of USC and Tulane? Because that's gonna be critical What if he
USC.
loses to? But what if he loses Tulane to Tulane? Does that start open? No, I'm saying I'm just saying because Tulane. Hey, it's just what it is. They playing ball, and anything can happen when you get kids to buy into your program. When you get kids to buy into what the coach is selling, that's the dangerous combination for a win. That's all I'm
Is
saying.
Caleb playing? Is Caleb playing?
Yeah, he playing.
Yeah, they
He,
winning.
he played against Utah twice though.
They winning. They winning.
Okay, but
He's one of the few quarterbacks out there that if I had a game on the line, or if I had a play that I need, that I would pick Caleb over pretty much all of them. He's that dude. He's that dude.
Yeah. I don't. I'm a Bama fan. I don't believe it. I don't believe that, Jeff. Nah. But y'all, we had an hour. We had 13 in chat. I thought we had 15 at the max. I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit the like button. And while y'all here, I want to let y'all know something. That I've started a new YouTube channel on my own that I'm gonna be doing work over there too. I'm not leaving the CTS. I'm part of the CTS Sports Room, but Nick Saban Jr. Sports Talk TV. If all y'all don't mind, please go subscribe to that channel right now. I have a video up there. I have a short up there, and I'm probably gonna be posting some more videos throughout the day. Whatever I'm gonna be doing videos throughout the day, whatever. So please go subscribe to that. Hit the like button on it. I'm trying to start some over there where I can post videos, post shorts over there. I'll be doing a lot, doing my lives over here and all that. But please go subscribe to that channel, please. And I got one more dude I want to Rags and Fitness. He does Alabama content. Please go subscribe to him, man. Like he came on my show the other night. He trying to build his YouTube channel and he growing. He got like 500 subscribers, but he getting like 20,000 of views, 9,000. He getting a lot of views, and he came on my show the other night, and I think I appreciate him a whole lot for that. So y'all go subscribe to him, and do not forget. Nick Saban Jr. Sports Talk TV. Please go follow me right now. Over. Please go do that. Do that. Hey, anything you wanna you got anything you might want to plug or whatever?
Just go Dogs, baby. Just getting ready for this
Go
game.
dog.
About to put some
All
pulled
right.
pork inside of the smoker,
Ooh,
and then game day, baby. It's game
man, you
day.
can't
Got a lot
barbecue,
of food
man.
right now. Throwing some steaks on, some steaks on the
Okay,
grill later. Get
okay.
some dip ready right now. We're gonna do some sliders. Oh yeah, it's game day.
Oh, okay. Y'all got a whole spread. That's where I need to be right
Oh yeah, game
there.
day, baby. That's how we do.
But y'all, we finna end this thing. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Roll Tide, and
Go Dogs.
that's right. Peace out.